Why education matters. If your child is preparing for the 11+ exam, you're aiming to help them secure a grammar school place, boost their confidence for the tests, or navigate this whole process well-informed, then you need to watch this video, because understanding the exam concept can make all the difference. As parents, we all dream of seeing our children thrive, find their path, and build a successful future. It's one of the biggest journeys we embark on with them. But what does success truly mean, and how do we help them get there? For me, a huge part of that puzzle has always been education. It's more than just classrooms and grades. Education is the bedrock of opportunity. Here's a thought for reflection. United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization is a special agency of the United Nations that works to promote education for all people. They estimate that if all adults completed secondary education, global poverty could be cut by more than half, potentially lifting 420 million people out of poverty. The 2016 Global Education Monitoring Report explores why. What the chart shows, it is a proof that more education equals less working poverty. This report shows a clear trend. As education levels rise, especially to upper secondary and tertiary, working poverty drops significantly. The report looked at 12 countries that are not super rich. They are low or middle income. Then they compared how many full-time workers were poor depending on their education level. Here's what they found. People with only primary education or less, just basic school, had the highest chance of being poor even though they worked full-time. People with lower secondary, like middle school or junior high, did a little better, but many were still poor. People who finished high school or some college had a lower chance of being poor. People with college degrees, tertiary education, had the lowest chance of being working poor. Also, better jobs, less risk. How secondary education transforms employment. The chart indicates that vulnerable employment and informal work often trap people in poverty. But looking at this data shows that completing upper secondary education dramatically reduces these risks. This is a key reason why United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization estimates that universal secondary education could slash global poverty by over 50%. It empowers individuals with skills for more secure, better-paying jobs. Today, I want to share my experience with the UK education system and how I have supported my children through it. But before I get into that, let's take a step back. Understanding the bigger picture helps us see our own situation more clearly. A world of learning, different systems, same goal. Now we all know education is vital, but here's something fascinating. The way children are educated can look wildly different depending on where you are in the world. It's like looking at different maps for the same destination. The goal of a successful future is the same, but the routes, the milestones, even the terrain can vary enormously. Let's take a quick tour. If we look at many parts of the African continent, and remember, Africa is incredibly diverse, you'll often see an amazing spirit of community driving education. Even with very few resources, communities find smart ways to support learning. Then if we hop over to Europe, again, it's not one single system. In Nordic countries like Finland or Norway, for example, there's a strong emphasis on holistic child development in the early years. Think lots of play-based learning, outdoor activities, and less formal testing until children are older. Contrast that with other European nations, like perhaps France or parts of Germany, where you might find more centralized systems with national curriculums and significant examinations at key stages that heavily influence a child's educational path from an earlier age. In China, there's a profound cultural value placed on academic achievement. This translates into a system known for its rigor and discipline. Many students dedicate immense hours to study, all building towards the Gaokao, that's the National College Entrance Exam. It's an incredibly high-stakes test that essentially determines university admission and, for many, their future career path. The pressure is immense, but so is the drive. And the US system, on the other hand, is highly decentralized, meaning that education policy is largely determined at the state and even local district level. So what a child learns in Texas might be quite different from what a child learns in Massachusetts. This leads to ongoing, passionate debates about things like standardized testing, how much, how often, and the concept of school choice, where families might have options to send their children to schools outside their immediate neighborhood. Why am I painting this global picture when our focus will be on the UK? This is because it highlights a fundamental truth, one that was so important on my own parenting journey. There's no single magic formula for education that fits everyone, everywhere. What's considered best practice in one culture might not translate or might need significant adaptation in another. And crucially, understanding your own local system, its specific rules, the expectations, the pathways, the support available, and yes, even its quirks is the absolute bedrock for making informed decisions and truly supporting your child's success. Information, in this context, really is power.